Good evening, everyone. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but a lot of times this happens to me is I'm walking down the street and I hear about 4 seconds of a conversation and I would sell my soul to hear what led up to it. As I was walking here tonight, I just actually moved into Brighton this very evening. I'm walking down here. I'm walking down and there's 2 guys, about 28, 30, handlebar mustaches, black hair. They kind of look similar, kind of not. And I'm just wondering, like, are these guys related? Is it a gay couple? And I'm not sure. Right as I pass by them, one of the guys says, "Hey, what if everybody in the world had a double?" I was like, holy shit, I psychically influenced their conversation. Probably the best example that has ever happened to me like this is I'm from New Jersey originally. If you've never been there, our state motto is, hey, it wasn't our first choice either. So I was walking through the streets of my hometown of Princeton, New Jersey, and I'm walking, this is about May, about 5 years ago, and I go past and there's a lot of business guys there. So there's this one business guy, it's late in the afternoon, his tie's loose, he's really sweaty, he's like outside of this restaurant, and he's on his phone, and he says this, and I only hear this: "What are we gonna do? My wife's gonna look in the account and know the money's missing." Like, how many months of bad Goodfellas-related decisions led up to that point? You're just kind of wondering. Like I said, I'm from New Jersey. Don't know too much about it. We actually had a pretty brutal winter this past year. And in the spring, a lot of the animals got affected. The state of New Jersey was actually forced to launch a bear patrol. But it was an incredible success because over 50 bearded gay men were able to find jobs as security guards. So like I said, I'm moving up here, and one of the things is my father's giving me a little financial help to move up here. But the one thing is, for the past 2 weeks, all he's been doing when he's calling me up is saying, "Shawn, are you saving any money? Shawn, are you saving any money? Shawn, are you saving any money?" And finally I had to tell him, "Dad, look, I'm willing to accept that animals have a soul, but money's an inanimate object. It can't receive religious salvation." But it's always difficult, like, talking to my father. I don't know if this ever happens to you. Have you ever had somebody lecture you about your fashion decision who refuses to untuck a polo shirt? Yeah, I was like, there was one morning I was living with my dad, like 3 years ago, and he basically knocks on my door one morning and he's like, "Shawn, the internet's broken." "What do you mean the internet's broken?" "I don't know, the internet's broken. You're young, you figure it out." So I go and I'm like fiddling with it for about 20 minutes and I realize the network's down. I go in and I tell my father, I'm like, "Dad, I don't think it's gonna work. The network's down right now." And he's like, "No, Shawn, the TV's working fine. It's the internet that has a problem." I said, just moved here. I like to travel a little bit. I had, a few years ago, I actually was very lucky. I got to live in Spain for a bit. But unfortunately, when I first moved to Spain, all I had was like my middle school and high school Spanish. I was like, "Hola, soy Shawn, ¿cómo estás?" You know, I could talk very well. Unfortunately, I didn't know any of the profanity. And there's some words, if you don't speak a language, you can occasionally misuse a word. I'll give you an example. So in Spain, they like to have a little thing about a half pint, about this much of a beer, and it's called a caña. Very nice, very refreshing when it's hot outside. Unfortunately, I didn't know this word, and I couldn't pronounce it properly. So for about 2 weeks till a friend corrected me, I went up to multiple bartenders in Madrid and said, "Hola, me gustaría 3 coños, por favor." For those of you who didn't pass high school Spanish, I went up to a bartender and said, "Hello, I'd like 3 pussies, please." He's like, "Me too, amigo, but we only have beer here." Now, probably, though, my favorite expression from Spain is, you know, every country has different expressions, different sayings they like to use. You know, in America, about children, one of the most common ones we have is, "It takes a village to raise a child." That's good. It's like the whole, you know, our generation invests in the whole next generation. This is what they say in Spain. "Cría cuervos y te sacarán los ojos." Raise ravens and they will rip out your eyes. Well, thank you very much for your time. My name is Shawn Barron. Enjoy the rest of your evening.